Hello everyone, welcome to Lean and Free Live number 27. This is a very special addition to the Lean and Free Lives that we're doing. I'm going to help everybody with sugar cravings, sweet cravings, whatever you want to call it. Why is this so special today? Because we're going to do a little more belief work than we normally do in these calls or in these trainings. So normally we just do like 3 or 4, but today we have more. I think there's like 13 or 14. So we're going to do quite a bit. If you have any that you'd like to add, feel free to put them in the comments. Again, welcome everybody. If you're joining us just now, please say hello in the comments. Let me know you're here. And we're going to start with my little story that I always start people with as we're waiting for people to join us, since people don't seem to join on time. So today's story is about happiness is within you. So this story is a fable about a man who travels to a far-off land in search of happiness. He meets a wise old man who tells him that happiness is not found in distant places, but rather within oneself. The wise man tells the traveler to seek out a certain tree in a nearby forest, which is said to hold the secret to true happiness. The traveler searches for the tree, but when he finds it, he is disappointed to see that it looks like any other tree. The wise man appears again and tells the traveler to cut the tree down and open it up. Inside, the traveler finds nothing but plain, unremarkable wood. Confused and frustrated, he asks the wise man what this means. The wise man tells him that the true secret to happiness is not in external objects or circumstances, but rather in our own perception and attitude. Happiness is not found in material things or in achieving external goals, but rather in cultivating an inner sense of peace, contentment, and gratitude. So this story is often used as a metaphor for the idea that true happiness comes from within, and that external factors can only provide temporary pleasure or satisfaction. So the lesson of the story is to focus on cultivating inner peace and contentment rather than seeking happiness in external objects or circumstances or goals or things like that. So that's the short story for today. Welcome everybody. Dan, glad to have you here. Thanks for putting something in the comments. I see there's more people here, but glad to have you here. So we'll get started. So most of you know, I'm Derek Raymond. I'm your holistic health and fitness coach. And if you're tired of those sugar cravings and that are sabotaging your goals, then you're in the right place. We're going to break free from the sugar trap together. So thanks for joining us in the Lean and Free community. And like I said, we're going to do a deep dive into the world of sugar and how to reduce it for a healthier, happier you. And we're going to uncover the hidden dangers of sugar, understand the science behind some of the cravings, and we're going to learn practical tips to reduce sugar intake. And as always, we're going to do some belief work. But today, since it's Halloween, and happy Halloween everybody, we're doing a special edition where we're going to do a lot more belief work. So this is going to be a bigger training. So at the end of the call, let me know how you like it, if you like it better. We're going to spend less time actually talking and going through the actual training about talking about sugar, and we're going to spend more time this time on the actual belief work. So speaking of the belief work, if you have not seen my Lean and Free Quick Start, the free course, it would be very beneficial for you because in that course is the muscle testing video. It teaches you how to muscle test. So when we do the belief work, we will be muscle testing. Now, in the free course, the muscle testing video goes over how we muscle test and why we muscle test and all kinds of things about muscle testing. So we're not going to do that here. So if you don't know how to muscle test, let me know in the comments or send me a message. I'm going to put my link into the comments so everybody has it, and you can message me directly. That way you can let me know that you need the free course and we'll get it to you. For today, if you don't know how to muscle test, don't worry, it's okay. Muscle testing only verifies the belief, but so you can still get the benefits of everything we do. So just go through, listen to what we're doing today, and you verify what we're doing. So if you're listening to this on the replay, then you can come back to this and watch the muscle testing first, or just go through it and then rewatch the muscle testing after you've gone through this, just to verify that you have all the beliefs that you want to have and that they're correct. So thank you for those that are here and joining us. We're going to get started with our sugar and sweets talk. So sugar is the silent saboteur. Sugar, especially added sugars, is a silent saboteur. It's linked to serious health issues like obesity, diabetes, heart disease, and even cancer. It can age you faster, causing inflammation and oxidative stress. So don't be fooled by the sneaky sugars. Make sure you read labels carefully. Look for hidden sugars like high fructose corn syrup, agave nectar, and fruit juice concentrate. They're often lurking in processed foods, sauces, and drinks. So most of us don't even realize how much sugar we're actually consuming because they're hidden in so many foods. So how do we break free from the cravings? And why do we crave sugar? Well, it's a complex interplay of hormones, neurotransmitters, and blood sugar levels. So when you eat sugar, your blood sugar spikes, then it crashes, and then it leaves you wanting more. So to break this cycle, you need to stabilize your blood sugar. And to do that, we eat regularly. You eat balanced meals with protein and fiber. We need to manage our stress, get enough sleep, and practice mindfulness. Practice mindful eating and meditating. Another thing we can do is we can savor each bite, chew slowly, and listen to your body's hunger and fullness cues. And these are things, when you work with me privately, that we work on together. So I can help you do all of that. So how do we sweeten our life naturally? Well, we can swap out sugary drinks for water, tea, or infused water. I mean, there's a lot. Instead of regular Coca-Cola, you can get the Coke Zero. Sugar substitutes aren't necessarily the best foods, but they're better than too much sugar. So we're always going for the next best. One thing I would do is, one of my favorite snacks is Greek yogurt with some blueberries and some protein powder. And I use frozen blueberries. And when I first started on my journey, I also used to add chocolate chips because I was addicted to sugar, and especially chocolate, and I loved it. I loved having the chocolate chips. So I would have a little chocolate chips in my little, it helped me with the fiber from the blueberries and the extra protein powder and the Greek yogurt. I had a lot more protein, so I was adding more protein to my diet, and the chocolate chips really helped me eat that. But after a few months, maybe 2 months, I don't remember, I was able to switch the chocolate chips. I just decided one day to change the chocolate chips to sugar-free chocolate chips. And then after a couple months of the sugar-free chocolate chips, I just decided maybe I can try just cacao nibs. Now, cacao nibs have very little sweet. They're not even really sweet. They just got a little bit of that chocolate taste, right? It's actually kind of bitter. But I added that, and after a couple months of that, I didn't even need those anymore. And now I eat it without any chocolate chips in there or anything like that. So, once in a while I do buy the sugar-free chocolate chips and kind of add it in as a special treat. But I don't need it. I don't crave it anymore. So it's a gradual journey, and that's how we like to do it. So if you are eating a lot of sugary snacks, maybe substitute fruits, nuts, or yogurt. You got to get a little creative in the kitchen. Try some healthy recipes. And like I said, we're going for a gradual change. You celebrate those small victories. Be happy, be excited that you switched from regular chocolate chips to sugar-free chocolate chips. That's a big step. Changing from regular Coke to Coke Zero. Big step. Be very proud. This whole journey of dropping weight is a journey, right? It's not a sprint. We're going for the distance. And everyone's going to get there at a different speed. Some people are going to be faster than others, and that's okay. Your time is your time. So looks like a few more people joined us, so thanks for joining. Also, mindful eating we talked about. Tune into your body's hunger and fullness cues. Eat slowly, savor each bite, and enjoy your food without distractions. We tend to eat those snacks, chips, and sugary stuff, in front of the television, in front of movies, in front of our phones. Maybe turn off the phones. Usually when we have these sweet cravings, we're not actually hungry, so maybe go do something else. Go take a walk, drink some water. And if you still want the sugar after you took your walk, or after you had a couple glasses of water, then have some. Have a little bit. Maybe you can do a little less than you normally would. There's lots of ways around it. So if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments. Glad to have you here. Again, we went through a lot. I went through it fast because we're going to do some belief work now. But if anybody has any questions on anything that I talked about, let me know in the comments. All right. Doesn't look like there's any comments. So everybody get ready for the belief work. So if you know how to muscle test, calibrate your muscle test. If you don't know how to muscle test, like I said, don't worry about it for now. It's in the free course, so let me know that you need the free course, the Lean and Free Quick Start. There's a video about muscle testing and how to do it. So get the free course and check out the muscle testing video, and then you can come back to the replay and retest everything. But for now, you'll still get the benefits of everything we do. You just won't be able to verify it. So you can verify it later when you know how to muscle test. So for those of you that do know how to muscle test, go ahead and calibrate your muscle test. Just show me yes, show me no, I'm a man, I'm a woman, however you calibrate and get an accurate reading. And the way this works is I say a statement, you repeat the statement out loud as you muscle test. If you get the desired answer, meaning we want a yes based on the statement, and your muscle test is strong or true, then you have it, that's great. If you get weak muscle test or false, that's a no. So you'll want to give me permission to help you change the belief, and we'll help you change the belief, and then we'll retest it afterwards. So that'll make more sense as we move on. So everyone, make sure you're calibrated. And the first statement is, I crave sweets. So muscle test, the statement, I crave sweets. Now, we're going to hold off on changing the belief until the end. We'll retest it. But just be aware, if you got a if you muscle tested and it was true, if it was strong, that means you do crave sweets. If you muscle tested and got a weak muscle test or a false, that means you're good. You don't crave sweets. So if you got a no or a false on that muscle test, you'll still benefit by doing the rest of the beliefs, but it just means you're in a good place. So good for you. So everybody that did get a yes and wants to keep going, or wants to keep going, let's keep going. So the next statement is, I know the difference between cravings and hunger. I know the difference between cravings and hunger. So if you muscle tested and got a true or strong, that's a yes, and that's what we want. If you got a weak or false or a no, then just give me your permission. All you have to do is say yes out loud or put yes in the comments, and we're going to give you that belief. All right, retest. I know the difference between cravings and hunger. And hopefully that changed to a yes if you needed it. If not, don't worry about it. Sometimes you just need a good night's sleep for it to integrate. So come back to the recording of this tomorrow and recheck it. All right? So the next statement is, I know how to identify my sweet cravings triggers. I know how to identify my sweet cravings triggers. If you got a yes, great. If you got a no, give me your permission, and we're going to give that to you. All right, retest. I know how to identify my sweet cravings triggers. And the next statement is, I know what it feels like to identify my sweet cravings triggers. I know what it feels like to identify my sweet cravings triggers. If you got a yes, great. If you got a no, give me your permission and we'll give you the feeling. All right, retest. I know what it feels like to identify my sweet cravings triggers. And the next statement is, I know what to do after I crave something sweet. I know what to do after I crave something sweet. If you got a yes, that's what we want. If you got a no, just give me your permission and we'll give that to you. All right, retest. I know what to do after I crave something sweet. And the next one is, if I ignore my sweet cravings, something bad will happen. If I ignore my sweet cravings, something bad will happen. So this one, the desired answer is false or no, or a weak muscle test. So if you got a yes or a true, that's a block. And if you want to clear that block, give me your permission and we're going to clear it. All right, retest. If I ignore my sweet cravings, something bad will happen. And again, the desired result is a no or a weak muscle test. If it did not change, get a good night's sleep, come back to the replay of this and recheck it tomorrow. The next statement is, if I have one sweet thing, I have to have more. If I have one sweet thing, I have to have more. Again, if you got a yes for this one, that's a block. So if you want to clear it, give me your permission and we're going to clear it for you. All right, retest. If I have one sweet thing, I have to have more. And the next one is, it is safe for me to ignore my sweet cravings. It is safe for me to ignore my sweet cravings. If you got a yes, great. If you got a no, give me your permission and we're going to make it safe for you. All right, retest. It is safe for me to ignore my sweet cravings. Thank you for the nice comments, Phyllis. Glad to have you here. She just went through the free course and she really loved it. So thank you for sharing. And if anybody has any questions or comments or concerns, feel free to put them in the chat here. Even if you're watching the replay, I'll see it. So let's continue and everybody test. I'm addicted to sugars and sweets. I'm addicted to sugars and sweets. If you got a yes, that's another block. So if you want to clear that block, give me your permission and we're going to clear it. And retest. I'm addicted to sugars and sweets. Again, the desired result is no or false or weak. And the next statement is, I need to eat sweets. I need to eat sweets. If you got a yes, that's another block. So if you want to clear it, we're going to clear that need. Just give me your permission. All right, retest. I need to eat sweets. And we're just going to do a few more, so hang in there and let's test. I know how to live without sweets. I know how to live without sweets. If you got a yes, that's great. That's what we want. If you got a no, give me your permission and we're going to give that to you. All right, retest. I know how to live without sweets. And next we're going to do, I know what it feels like to live without sweets. I know what it feels like to live without sweets. And if you need that one, we'll give it to you. Just give me your permission. All right, retest. I know what it feels like to live without sweets. And I know who I am without eating sweets. I know who I am without eating sweets. If you got a yes, that's great. If you got a no, give me your permission and we're going to give that to you. All right, retest. I know who I am without eating sweets. And finally, we're going to retest. I crave sweets. I crave sweets. Now, after all of that work we just did, hopefully that's weak or no. If you still got a yes, that's okay. I'm going to clear it right now. But if you still feel like we have more work to do, that's great. Just let me know, and we'll do like a second version of this. Like maybe next week we'll do a part 2, or just let me know and we could work together and we'll get it taken care of. So let's retest. I crave sweets. And if you did get a yes, just give me your permission and we're going to clear it. And retest. I crave sweets. And hopefully that's now a no. If it's not, like I said, don't worry. You might just need a sleep cycle. So come back to the replay. It'll be available tomorrow and you can watch this again and go through all the beliefs and retest with the muscle testing and see if anything changed for you. If it didn't change, let me know and we will help you out. We'll revisit it next week or we'll set up a private time to talk and we'll get it fixed for you. So don't worry about it. You know, if something doesn't change, it's actually a good thing. That lets us know where we have work to do. So it's actually not a bad thing. So that's all we have for the beliefs today. If you have any questions, concerns, again, today we talked about a lot. So it doesn't look like there's anything. Comments, let me integrate all the belief statements that we did for you today. And there you have it. So by understanding everything we talked about today, you know, the science and, you know, all the things behind sugar cravings and making conscious choices, you can take control of your health. You know, small changes lead to big results. So let's break free from that sugar trap together. And again, thank you so much for joining today. Thanks for watching the replay. If you're watching in the replay, if you're here, special thanks for being with us. Thank you, Dan and Phyllis, for commenting and and participating. I know a lot of people watch these and don't really participate. It's okay, but you know, the more you participate, easier you make it for me, so I can do these, I can have better ones in the future. Yeah, thanks everybody. Let me know how you like this. It was a little bit different format than we normally do. I did a lot more beliefs. So let me know if you like that better. Or maybe you like the old way where I talked longer and did less belief work. Whichever you like, we're going to keep going and try different things. But I thought this sugar one was really important, especially today on Halloween. And, you know, a lot of people that have kids, they're going to have a lot of sugary snacks around the house for the next week or 2 or 3. So, you know, it's going to be tempting. So I wanted to help everybody with that. Again, thanks for joining me. Thanks for participating, and we'll see you soon. So enjoy the rest of your Halloween and see you soon. Thanks. Bye.